The Good Guy Experience.
What's up, everybody? It is the Good Guy Experience, where the experience is always good guy. I'm your host tonight. My name is Buddy Rowe. I'm your host, Buddy Rowe, tonight. And to my right, we got the homegirl, Black Pearl. Down below, we have the homie, Ash Jones. And to her right, we got Mr. Jay Weeks in the house, everybody. And we are the Good Guy Experience. How y'all feeling tonight?
Feeling good.
Great.
Damn crown sliding to the side.
Entertained by your crown.
Hey, look, if anybody's wondering why I got on this super cool crown tonight, it is May 12th. It's my birthday, bitches. It's my birthday.
It's his birthday.
Hey, so I'm turning up all day today, man. I've had an awesome day. People been shouting. I want to thank everybody who's been shouting me out, everybody who has been, in comments and everything like that, man. Thank you, Tyrone. Hey, birthday boy, feeling good. Hey, yes, I am. We appreciate you. But everybody else, how has your night been? How's everything going? How's the week going for you guys?
Man, it's been great.
Awesome.
It's going great for everybody. I mean, come on. I ain't feel a lot of energy with that. Like, man, shit.
Hey,
I am thoroughly entertained by all the wonderful weird things that are happening in May. How about that?
Man, I mean, it is a lot of weird things that are going on. I mean, so many things. The first thing I want to bring up is what is going on.
What in the what?
What is going on with the gas situation? I mean, people are filling up canisters, people filling up tanks, oil canisters, oil barrels, everything.
That car is gonna blow up and go back to the future with all that thing gas.
I don't know how people are that comfortable riding around with that much gas in their trunk.
That's a lot of gas, yo.
If somebody hit them from the back, it's over for it.
They don't even have to hit. It's just in the mood of the gas. Could just be like, it's hot.
That's a big explosion too.
I mean,
Ash, can you speak up just a little bit? It's kind of hard to hear you. Just a little bit hard to hear you. But on a serious note, I mean, can we say that that we're in a state of panic? I mean,
no, we're not.
No,
It's sad because when people hear just a little bit of news of, it could be like a short supply of something, people get greedy. It's not that the people want to prepare; they just don't want nobody else to have it. That's why I said it. Because I mean, the way I am, it's just say that I want to fill up 10 gallons of things or whatever the fuck you call them. Let's say I want to fill up 10 gas canisters. I would give some away to people behind me. You know what I mean? Like I just
You're not doing that.
But you know who's doing it? It's people being greedy though. And you know the ones that's doing it.
You saw people trying to charge people $1.25 a gallon. I saw a post. They talking about it's a $20 deposit, and then it was like $1.25 for 2 gallons or something. Something crazy. Like,
well, let's be 100 though. The news is doing their job. They're planting the seeds of fear, and they're just now people are scared.
They're trying to make that stimulus money back.
Yeah, you stupid.
Somebody said I waited 20 minutes today to get gas at Sheetz and paid $4.08 for non-ethanol. Never again, but I was happy they had some. I tell you what, you better give me some of that damn ethanol or whatever. Non-ethanol. Hey, look, give me some of the cheapest stuff you got. Hey, if all else fails, you better put some Everclear in the tank.
Hey,
I ain't paying no
y'all better start practicing riding your bikes again.
And what make this shit even crazier is they said the problem would be fixed before the week is out.
That's the wild
exactly.
And then if people actually read in the article, they said do not panic. They just said treat half a tank like E. That's all.
Yeah, but it's a double-edged sword because here's the thing: if it's gonna be over by the end of the week, why y'all pressing it so much?
Because people
want us to be scared.
It's like Ash just said. People don't read. People look at the headline: gas shortage. Oh hell, let me go out here and take my 5 gallons, my 5 barrels out here and fill them all up because it's a me, situation.
Yeah, but it still doesn't make sense. So you take all this gas. Your people who are emergency services people can't get to you if there's an emergency. They can't deliver your food. They can't deliver your mail. What are you tripping?
My question to everybody is, where are you going? Like
Where?
run out.
Where
are you going? Like I'm trying to figure out the logic behind it, because like even like what you filling up for? Where are you going?
It's just to have it, like Week said. It's just to say, I got it. I got it.
Like they feel better having it. Just like never, I ain't even gonna get into them vaccines, but
hey, I talked
just
to
like these vaccines that don't work. Y'all just feel better with it in your body, and it don't work.
I talked to an Uber driver today, and the guy was like, you know, this is my second time filling up this week, and he like, man, this is crazy, because it's like every gas station in my area is out of gas, and it's ridiculous. And I seen on CNN, they said the top 2 cities in America that's running out of gas is Raleigh and Charlotte.
Yeah, but do you know why we don't have gas, besides the fact that everybody wants it? You get gas delivery on specific days, right?
Yeah.
So if I deliver the gas on Wednesday, how are you going to find a driver who's going to jump right back on it to come deliver gas? You're going to have to wait.
Exactly.
Man,
that's what it is.
If the truck drivers of America, if they got trouble getting fuel because of this shit, then we really in trouble.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Right. So, guys, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and your man Kanye West has done it again. I just got a question.
Oh, that's
what
real?
The hell are these?
Is that real? That can't be real.
Man, I saw that these are some type of Yeezys. I don't know if they're the Robin Hood 5s. I don't know if they're the Robin Hood 5s. I don't know if they're the Jesus Walk 12s. I don't know what these are,
Jesus
but supposedly
Walk 12. Oh my God.
Those was for real, supposedly, I thought that was fake.
Huh?
That can't be real, KJ. Stop it.
I don't know. I was scrolling through, because anybody in the comment section, can anybody help me out?
I'm gonna look that shit up.
This is a cry for help if this is real.
If we can look at the picture, it looked like somebody took a random rock and put rubber bands around it.
I don't think that's real.
I have Yeezys, and all of them are comfortable.
Do they look like that?
No, look.
Nah,
I was about to say, Ash, I was gonna get you. Okay.
2 pair right here.
Look no shit ain't nowhere on the website.
You see how comfortable they look at the cut? Like how we go from this to rocks and stones?
It was rocks that looked like Jesus' feet was cold. Nah, we good.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
I refuse to give this any energy.
like I know Ash a sneakerhead, but those Red October Yeezys that came out on Nike. Yeah. To me, those the best Yeezys of all time.
Hands down. You know how much they cost now, though?
Yeah. I seen how much they cost. Yeah. They going for thousands now.
Yeah, I think but or something.
But to me, those the best Yeezys. The Yeezys that come out now, to me, look plain. Like they.
That's why I like them. I am a little basic.
So I did want to discuss this for a second, because we do have a grand topic, but I did want to go through 2 more things. This is what I wanted to touch on. We really don't get on sports a lot, but recently, Tim Tebow has switched positions.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Tim Tebow has switched positions to tight end, and now is getting an opportunity to play in the NFL once again. While my man at 50 grand, Colin Kaepernick, is still not with the NFL and without a job. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth, guys. I went out and I said, you know what? They done put Colin Kaepernick on the game. Maybe they trying to turn around. I went and got Madden. Now I got my ass whooped for a year because I've been gone for 4 years. But I've been no, don't play me like that. No, I was whooping ass. But anyway, I started to slowly watch football again, but something just didn't feel right. But with this right here, I think I'm gonna go back into boycotting the NRL. I think I'm going to go back into that. What are your thoughts on it?
How long did Tim Tebow sit out? How long has he not been playing?
He's been out of league for 6 years.
6 years.
Is it 6? Has it actually been 6? I don't think he got to 6
but
yet.
This is my whole issue with it, though. Is I get it. Everybody like, well, he knows somebody. It's his old coach. So what? You know how many old coaches people come back and coach in the NFL? They don't bring back old players. Like, what's so great about Tim Tebow? He was a fail in the league. Like, what's up with that? It pissed me off.
So go ahead.
It's no different than what's happening already.
I mean, it's like you can slice it 5 ways. Like, I mean, many ways. I ain't gonna say 5. Like, for one,
shoot, 5 ways.
Like, for one, they said, it's always who you know versus your skill set. So You know, him and Urban Meyer got that connection, so that's what, you know, got him a chance to try out, because technically he hasn't made a team yet. They might cut him before the season even starts. And two, I mean, he's from that area. He's from the Jacksonville area, so his name alone is going to create some new excitement. You know, with them with the number one pick and all that. You know, it's more publicity than anything. It's not really a football move. But then you seen Des Bryant when he said, "Yo, this some bullshit." Like, how this man just walk on the field and just say, "I'm gonna change position and get a chance."
Exactly.
You know, but
I'm gonna be real with you. I think he's gonna get hurt before training camp is over. That's me. I think he's gonna get hurt and sit out. He's gonna be warming the bench.
Well, my thing is, if we're talking about publicity and everything like that, especially, I'm not using our detriment as publicity, but what's been going on in the height of our race and things like that, I thought for sure this would be a time that the NFL will welcome Colin Kaepernick back with open arms, because it seems like a time where our nation has been like, you know what, he's right. Our nation has been somewhat apologetic, like, you know what, Colin Kaepernick was right all along. So I thought that this would be a time that they would welcome him back.
No, because let's be real. Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. Yeah, but there's how many teams with quarterbacks that can't get the ball past the 50-yard line, and you're telling me you got a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Now, I'm not saying he's still Super Bowl caliber. I'm saying if he comes back, I do expect him to probably be a backup. But you're trying to tell me this man can't get a backup job in the league? A backup?
But we all know the NFL is the most political and the most conservative league out of all the professional sports. I mean, you see the NBA is a progressive league. The players pretty much run the NBA. Mm-hmm. The NFL is run by the good old boy network, Jerry Jones.
That's because it's the all-American sport. That's why. Yeah, all-American.
I mean, just look at some of the things that's being said. Look at look at how many black coaches there is. Look at how a black quarterback is still being judged in the NFL. It's just, they're never gonna change.
Because it comes down, yeah. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead, Ash.
No, I was just saying, it really just comes down to, like I always been pushing for, we need our own leagues. I don't know why we keep wanting to play anyway. I mean, we need to separate ourselves. They're not going to give us what we want. They're not going to, equality and all that stuff is not going to happen. I don't know when people going to understand this, and we just keep putting money in their pockets. So they're going to keep doing what they're doing. They still
well, we don't know how to come together. That's part of the problem.
Then we got a problem within ourselves. So,
and that's bringing us into our segment. But before we go into our segment, I got one question. Who in the hell ate all the chicken? Because we about to have some daggone problems. Y'all sitting up here eating all the chicken. You sitting at home from the pandemic. Look, I work. I want to come home and get me a good chicken wing or something like that. And y'all is sitting up here eating we in a chicken deficit, and I'm not happy. So who in the hell
have some fried tofu?
Hey,
this is what I got for y'all. Who eating all the chicken? Who is eating all the chicken?
Hey, y'all go look up Bill Gates owning all the farmland. And it's very ironic that when this man owns the farmland, we start running out of bacon, chicken, everything. He want to come up with this artificial food and all this other stuff. Go look it up. If y'all think I'm playing, that's why y'all running out of food. They ain't just running out of food. If that's the case, we would have ran out of food years ago. We run out of food because they're trying to transition and change the food, because who owns the majority of farmland? Oh, I'm sorry, he owns farmland now. So
they're already manipulating food.
Yeah, they've been manipulating.
So that's not new.
It's really about to be really fake. Like, it's about to be like 100% fake. Like, they've been tampering with it, but it's about to be worse.
Like, part of the problem is they said there's not enough workers to, work at these plants to process.
Yeah, because they ain't trying to pay livable wages.
Yeah, exactly. Because people's making more money, collecting unemployment versus working, getting paid pretty much less than what you're worth, to work these jobs. So they say that's the major problem is they don't have the workers to, process the chickens and stuff.
Well, I'm a firm believer that the earth has enough for everybody, but there are people who are gluttonous, just like we said about gas, and they just wanted to want it.
I really don't. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't believe that this earth, the natural earth, was not made with enough things for everybody. I just don't. I can't swallow that.
Literally, we have everything we need on this planet. Everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit here and just believe we run out of chicken because we lacking some workers.
Man,
Like,
but
no.
you know, I watched a documentary. I forgot. Damn, I can't think of the name of it on Netflix. I don't know if y'all saw it, but we are running out of fish because they are overfishing. You know what I mean? These corporations is scraping the bottom of the ocean, like just like they're overfishing, and the animals don't
Yeah,
like
but
you
we're
know,
also poisoning our water,
yeah,
Weeks.
Yeah.
poisoning the waters also. So it's like, you know, in a few years, man, it's like it's gonna really get bad because you know
Right.
you already see chicken
And I'm
shortage,
gonna be honest with you. I
fish.
believe that I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe that the fish is probably the only animal that a human is supposed to consume. Me and Ash had a conversation before. I feel like, you know, we're not meant to consume, you know, meat or whatever and stuff like that. Our bodies aren't meant
We only
scientifically to
supposed to eat
consume
of
meat.
the earth.
We are naturally herbivores, but that's another conversation for another time.
Yeah.
I don't want to get anybody in the comments all riled up. What you talking about? I can't eat no meat. I've been on that pork since I can remember.
Hey,
So
and that goes down to why we got diseases, cancer, and all this other heart disease and high blood pressure. So, but
so
that's
that
another
is one.
episode. We can definitely go into that.
So that is one problem that we have in the Black community. So that is one issue. My question for tonight is, before we got, he said, "Shit." Come on, Tyrone, don't do it like that, man. Hey, look, get up off the swine, my brother. But yeah, how can we fix the Black community? I know our diet is one thing. We just touched on that. All the issues that we have with our education, with our spending, with our finance, with our diet, everything that we have going on. How are ways that we can fix the Black community, whether it's economically, whether it's in our education system, whether it's the way we eat? What are things we can do to fix it?
We gotta keep the money in the community. We got a problem with that though. We can't keep the money in the community. Our dollar don't hold no value. It just go right to everybody else's pockets except ours. We gotta keep the black dollar in the black community.
But do you feel that mentally we are programmed to floss even when we can't afford it?
I found myself sometimes if I'm buying from a black owned person, like kind of on the fence, depending upon who it is, just because of the customer service. So that's why I say it's like stuff within ourselves that we have to fix. And we got to fix us first before we can even think about trying to bring businesses and stuff and just buy black, because it's like we definitely got to fix ourselves. So that's the number one thing, is we got to fix ourselves individually. So I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, to piggyback off what she said, one thing about us when we sell to each other is like we over like stuff be overpriced. Like LeVar Ball, them shoes he was selling for $500. You know what I mean? And everybody was saying like, you know, support that man. But then when you pay $500 for the shoes, you might not get the shoes, or the shoes might come 3 months later. You know what I mean? So it's like one thing I noticed that some black, you know, owners do is they charge a lot for something that you can go somewhere else and get it cheaper, but then it hits you with the, man, you spend all that with them, but you're not gonna pay my price. You're not willing. Now, I'm not saying like, you know, we ask for a discount, because we do that shit too. Ask, you know, black owners for discount.
Yeah, I was gonna go into that. We asked for discounts.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, but don't be overcharging for some shit. You know what I mean? Like, don't sell me a hat for $50 that I can get from someone else for $35 and then be like, you know, why you don't want to buy my shit?
Right. Yeah, I think we also don't trust each other. That's the biggest thing. We don't trust each other. We're always waiting for the catch, the other shoe to drop, the hustle, you know? So yes, I do believe we should support each other, but the support starts baby steps. We got to redo our mindset. That's
I do want to touch on what Week said. Now, if we go to Walmart, of course, you can go and probably get a hat for $15 or something like that. Now, if you go to a black retailer or something like that, and you may see that same hat for $35. Now, I do understand what you're saying. Hey, man, look, that's a little bit too steep for me. But most black businesses are starting off small. So you got to understand that a lot of the overhead might be a lot more expensive for that person. Starting off in a small business, whereas a Walmart, they can get that mass produced for pennies on the dollar and maybe sell it cheaper. Should we look at that when we're looking at buying into black business?
The thing is, I don't mind. I really don't mind paying. It depends on what it is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm rich,
exactly.
But I don't mind paying depending upon what it is. Like, And then as far as the customer service goes, like I don't care where I'm at. I'm always gonna be basing my business if I'm gonna spend my money off your customer service. I don't care if it's white owned, Indian, Asian. I don't care if I walk into a restaurant and I'm not greeted properly or whatever. I'm leaving. I don't care how hungry I am. I'm going somewhere else. So
I agree. That's
really what it boils down to.
I got a list. Like my wife say, I got a list. Like whenever I go to a restaurant and I get bad service, they come off the list. I don't never go again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like crazy shit. Like man, like I mean, you go to a restaurant and you know it be our own people sometimes. And I love my people and I want to support my people, but when you go up in the like man, I went to a black-owned spot in Charlotte. I mean, I went there. I mean, the food on the menu looked like it was banging, everything. So while it was like a 2-hour wait, we decided to wait. We're like, we'll fuck it, you know, we'll do it for them. You know, we're gonna wait the 2 hours. You know, it's a Friday night. I mean, 2 hours came and gone. We still ain't get seated. So we sat ourselves. We sat down. We saw open table, so we sat down. The waitress came over to us. She said, "Oh, y'all gonna sit yourself?" I'm like, "What the fuck? We been here for 2 hours. Like,
you hungry?
Like, yeah, we sat down. Our legs hurt. Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, but we ended up, you know, ordering food and everything, drinks, everything was good. But that's the thing, you know, you can't offer bad customer service, and then when people go report your ass on Yelp, you like, man, see your own people. You mad because you know. You give us shitty service, and we give you a shitty review.
And then I also wanted to touch on. I feel like Black people, in a sense, for me, okay, me owning a business, I'd be nervous about getting robbed or something. You know how I feel like anytime we thrive, and there's always somebody in our community that's gonna try and bring you down, whether you get robbed, killed, somebody stealing from you. It's it goes back down to like Erica said, we don't trust each other. But it's like so much has happened in our community. It's very hard to sit here and trust people. So I think that's why I said we got to fix ourselves first before we can even think about going into bigger. Business is serious. Like we talking about money. We talking about livelihoods. So if we don't fix ourselves first, that we can't start no businesses.
So when you say fix ourselves, Ash, I know you've said that quite a few times, but what do you mean by fix ourselves? A lot. I mean, for the people at home that don't mean, what do you mean by fix ourselves?
Okay, first of all, I feel like a lot of us don't know who we really are because we lack knowledge of who we truly are. A lot of people don't even know that the melanin in your skin is worth 8 times more than gold. A lot of people don't know that about themselves. So if you know that your melanin in your skin is worth 8 times more than gold, wouldn't you feel more special about yourself? I feel like we really hate ourselves. So we need to love ourselves.
Which is mental slavery.
It's mental slavery, and we need to love ourselves. I feel like once you love yourself more, then you would treat life better. I feel like you're not gonna be taking advantage of every day. When you open your eyes every day, you're gonna try and conquer the world if you feel better about yourself. I feel like we don't feel good about ourselves. That's why we try and take. As soon as you see somebody else eating, you trying to go dig off their plate. When nigga, make your own damn plate. Same way they did. But that's why I'm saying it boiled down to knowledge. We lack so much knowledge, and then we just base everything off what somebody told us, and we don't go back and find out for ourselves. Like everything is just passed down, and nobody has broke those generational curses where we went back and found out stuff for ourselves. I just feel like somebody told us this, and we like, okay, that's what it is. Like, no, that's not what. Just like the vaccine, I'm gonna keep bringing it up because y'all need to stop getting it. They told y'all to go vaccinate, and it don't work. If somebody sit here in your face and told you, yeah, you can go take this shot, but you still got to wear a mask and you're not immune. What?
So
my body then?
So let me ask you this, because I do understand what you're saying. But for the people that did take the vaccine and stuff like that, what do you say to the people that have watched people die from? I mean, have seen it personally. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people die.
People die from COVID.
From COVID. I mean, and seen them progressively get worse and worse and things like that.
That me and you just talked about earlier. Most people who died had pre-existing medical conditions. Those medical conditions come from the way we eat, what we put in our body. That stuff come I'm not to be rude, but like high blood pressure, the heart disease. If people had asthma, you probably not to say everybody who has asthma is overweight because it's not true. But a lot of people who I know who have asthma is just overweight. If they lose weight, guarantee they wouldn't have all those breathing issues. That's pretty much how I've been responding to the COVID-19 deaths, because most of them have been from people who had already had pre-existing medical conditions. A lot of people that were healthy didn't die. So I mean, I know. I think later on they said some healthy people had died, but I still don't believe that because, like they said, they was even counting certain deaths as COVID-19 deaths, and they didn't have COVID. They died of a kidney failure, and they counted it as a COVID death. So them numbers are not even accurate. So that many people didn't die from COVID like people think they did. They was counting deaths that weren't even accurate, and the government said that. On national TV.
Well, Ash, I gotta disagree with you slightly on one thing. Like asthma, people can be in shape and still have asthma. Like
yeah. That's why I said it ain't all asthma. I get it, but I was just saying like that's because the breathing part of it. Because I had COVID, and the breathing part was what got me down. I could still taste and smell. What messed me up was the breathing aspect because I do have asthma, and I caught it later. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I ain't saying because they got asthma they was gonna get COVID. I ain't saying like.
Oh yeah.
Well, on that aspect, you know what I'm saying? I know several people that did, have COVID. And I knew one brother, who was a real close friend of mine. He had it and he had it real bad. And I asked him, I said, brother, should I get this vaccine? His exact words to me, he said, brother, if you don't get that vaccine, you're a fucking fool. Those was his exact words to me after going through what he went through. So, I understand what you're saying. I do understand that. To trust the government that has used us as guinea pigs. When we talk about the what was it, the Tuskegee Airmen they have done such
Tuskegee experiment.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
We can go back to 2011. Go look up the U.S. Supreme Court, March 2011. I think it's Waits versus Bruisewitz. I think I'm saying the W. It's WYETH versus Bruisewitz. They literally said vaccines are unavoidably unsafe. This was in 2011.
Yeah, I read about that.
No. So the vaccine part of it is cut out. No.
One thing about vaccines, I know it's always the the anti-vaxxers versus people that's for vaccines. Like I guess the main thing people gotta understand about vaccines is vaccines are not a cure. It's you're getting a form of the virus in your body so you can teach your body how to fight it off. And if enough people get it, then you create herd immunity. I mean, I think people think, I'm not saying you, Ashley, but I'm saying I think some people think if you get a vaccine, you're cured. You're not gonna get it. No, it's not how it works. It's just that we gotta look at things like polio, things like that that we all got vaccines for. All four
I had to get a vaccine before I went to college.
Yeah, so it's like, you don't hear about people getting polio no more. But I do know a man that had polio and he lost his leg.
But these vaccines you're talking about was tested properly. They actually did proper testing. It was actually properly tested for a year. I think they did it 2 to 3 years like they were supposed to. This rolled out in 6 months to a year.
Hold on. Go ahead.
But that goes back to the homework assignment I gave you and Erica yesterday about Henrietta Lacks.
He sure did give us homework. He gave us homework.
Yeah. Every
I got it incomplete. Was it due today?
Yeah. It was due today. Yeah.
I got it incomplete. My dog ate the homework. Can I break it?
Hey, I give you an extension, but for real though, like a lot of people don't even realize that one black woman is the reason why we got the vaccines.
Right.
That we got that do work and that do help us,
Did they ever give her family any credit for that, or the family still fighting?
I don't want that misconstrued.
From my understanding, I think the family's still fighting. They got fucked over bad.
Leaving them folks with no money, using all her stuff and ain't paying for it.
Somebody said vaccines are targets to specific variants. The more people who catch COVID, the more of the virus mutates, the more it renders the vaccine irrelevant.
So let me kind of parallel, not trying to throw you off, but bring us back just a little bit. So wouldn't that be the same reason why we as a people cannot come together, because we're not properly educating ourselves? We're just following the masses. We're just reacting to fear. So if we properly educated ourselves, and I'm saying for us, because all of our bodies work differently, right? So if we knew who we are, we would understand and educate ourselves on how to properly build and nourish our bodies, right? Because what works for Buddy Rowe is not going to work for me. And what works for Ash is not going to work for Weeks when it comes to building immunity, but the core stuff is the same, but it's different. But how can we say that we, as a human race, right, all made differently, all have different things going on, can take one thing and it helps all of us? We can't even take one hair product and it helps all of us. So how do we take one thing and it helps all of us? Does that make sense what I'm saying? So I really feel like it's a lack of education. We are taking someone else's knowledge and someone else's cookie cutter solution and saying it works for us. And then we're kind of thrown back like, well, how come all of the Black people are dying? Well, maybe because it doesn't work for us.
That's the thing. That's the thing. We need to get more into STEM, science, math. We need to know these things ourselves scientifically. Like we need, scientists that we trust, doctors that we trust. And I mean, basically, a vaccine is supposed to be based off of basic human DNA, but still, like you said, there, different people react to it differently, because that's why my wife haven't taken it yet, because she's afraid that she's gonna break out or have an allergic reaction, because some of her friends have. But it's some people who took the vaccine
with no reaction.
No reaction. So it's like, if they look at it like this, if a big number of people is fine, then a small number that's not fine don't count. That's how they look at that.
Yeah. The masses, basically.
Exactly. And I asked somebody, I think it was my mom. I asked her before. I said, "Mom, do you trust the government?" She said, "No," but she got the vaccine. I know she don't mind me telling y'all. So I said, "So if you don't trust the government, why you gonna get the vaccine?" Make that make sense.
Well, you got to look at our thought process as well. I mean, a lot of us don't trust the process, the government. We don't trust McDonald's, but we'll pull up in that drive-through because it's easy. It's more convenient.
I ate McDonald's in years.
I didn't eat it until I did gonna start. Man, never mind. Let me fix it.
So the point that so that goes back to the point, we're not educating ourselves, and now we're even co-signing that we settle. Yeah. We settle for convenience.
It's convenient. Exactly. You said it. It's convenience. Black people are convenient. We're in the state of convenience.
And we are conveniently dying too.
Yep. And I feel like that's part of why we integrated. And that takes us into our next segment. Where'd Giovanni go? Oh.
I was trying to figure. I was like, well, go ahead.
You missed me.
So with education. Do you think that we should be educating the youth differently? Today I walked into a store in my neighborhood, and I saw two students that I taught. Somebody said, "Hey, coach," I'm looking around, and it's those guys. They're like, "You didn't even know it was us, did you?" I mean, they had the pants sagging and stuff like that. I'm like, "No, sir, I didn't know it was y'all." So the thing about it is, they were like, "Coach, you remember that we got to fighting the other day?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm glad that y'all got that y'all worked it out." So after they left me, they were like, "All right, coach." I said, "Look, y'all boys stay safe." They run off. They're fighting in the store. They're throwing each other down. The store manager comes out and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to call the cops on you guys." How do we reach the youth and educate them to get the knowledge that we're talking about now? How do we reach because honestly, our generation, I'm not saying it's too late for our generation, but what we're talking about, we need to be instilling that into our youth. Right.
But you can't pour from an empty vessel. You have to start with yourself. You can't pour from an empty vessel. It's never too late. It's too late the day after they pronounce you dead. That's when it's too late. Yeah. After that, you're always learning. You're always growing. You're always enriching. It's like, if we say it's too late for us, who's the educator?
Yeah,
who's going to educate?
Somebody got to do it, but at the same time, you have to be willing to seek knowledge. Like when I was in high school, I wasn't in tune. I used to do my work because I played basketball, and I knew if I brought home anything less than a C-, my mama won't let me play. So I went through the motions in school. I didn't start reading and become conscious-minded until probably 3 years ago. And I actually went back and read stuff that I should have knew in high school. So you have to be willing to learn. And these kids is what I'm learning is some of them, because it's not all of them. Some of them are just not willing to learn, or some of them just don't care. Or I look at my parents and some people in my family, and it's like they know that these issues exist. They know that the facts are there. You can show them the proof, but they want to avoid it. They don't want to talk about it. I feel like we in a world, because it's not just the kids, it's some adults too that's just as bad as the kids. We live in a world now where we think we can avoid a problem away, or we can ignore an issue away. Like, it's not going anywhere. Like,
well, I think also so let me just say this first before y'all start shooting at me. I don't have my bulletproof vest on. It's not all white people. I want to say that. I really sincerely want to say that we spend so much time blaming other people for what's happening to us. We don't see we're doing it to ourselves too. So let me give you 2 examples. One, no one is born not caring, not wanting. That is a taught behavior all day, every day. When we're born, we're a clear canvas. You can paint whatever you want in the mind. So if you see fear, someone planted fear. If you see lack of caring, someone planted that. The other thing is, oftentimes we talk about the breakdown of the family, and we talk about, which we have, how, the government worked against us. But here's the simplest everyday breakdown of the family within the Black community that no one pays attention to: the cheating woman, the cheating husband. If you go and consciously sleep with a married man, you are taking someone's father away from them. You're taking extra income away from them, and nobody sees that. No one considers that a breakdown of the family, but it is, because now you have a little boy or a little girl who doesn't have a dad around, or has hatred, or doesn't care. You have a mom who needs to make up for income that's not there also. All these small things contribute to our breakdown. It contributes to us being broken down.
Yeah. Let me say one thing. I want to address, because Ash, you were saying some great things, and you were talking about we need to wake up as a people. And I'm gonna tell you a lot of things I don't say, Ash, but I do understand where you're coming from. And I'm gonna say it like this: The Matrix, that movie is real. Once you wake up out of that matrix, a lot of people choose to stay asleep. A lot of people choose to stay asleep, just like the Matrix, because you lose comfort. Once you start becoming awakened, and once you start knowing things that make you seem different, and everybody's feeling a certain way, you start to feel a certain. So people don't want that. People want to stay in that form of comfort. And I'm gonna tell you, that's one problem. For number 2, Tyrone was saying they want discipline, but adults are scared to say something to you. Tyrone, let me tell you why adults are scared to say something to them. Because around where I'm from right now, if you say something to the wrong young person, you might end up with 4 or 5 caps in your ass. I mean, I'm just being real. I'm not just trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be, but they're not playing nowadays. So if you say something to the wrong person, and I do understand, as a Black man, I do have to be that person that's going to go out there and take the risk and say, hey, young man, listen. But there is a risk with that. And yes, adults are scared, because these youngins are not playing. Every week we're hearing about who's shooting who, or who got shot, or who got
dissing each other in rap songs.
They dissing each other in rap songs. It's not a game. Our people are in a state of emergency.
Well, KJ, one thing I want to say. I mean, I know you said something about, being, reading and getting awakened, opening your third eye, your pineal glands, but I'm gonna tell you something, man, that comes with maturity, and that's called self-accountability and holding others accountable, like especially in your circle, and then that trickles down to the youth, like. When you think about it, like everybody in our circle got kids, and I should be able to reach out to your sons and be like, whatever you need from me, whatever knowledge you need from me to become better. Like, I'm in the banking industry. If your son want to get into banking, you should be able to send him to me to talk to me. Whatever profession, Erica's in and Ashley, it's like, I know what professions y'all in, but I ain't want to just put it out there. That's why I ain't mean like whatever, like y'all ain't doing shit. But what I mean is, like, with your circle, man, you got to have a strong circle, and for one, that bleeds down to the kids, because I think one of the main problems with our generation and the generation behind us is every generation look down on the other generation like they ain't shit. Yeah, like they look at the kids look at us like, man, they don't know shit, and then we look at them like they stupid and they immature. Exactly, and
we do
absolutely.
And it's like we don't give them a chance. Like, I'm gonna share a small story, but not really.
Go ahead. Your stories are always good. Go ahead, share your story.
They are. Giovanni be coming through with the stories, man.
But hold on. I ain't reveal too much because my wife, she might get mad. But anyway, it's like, before I moved, I had some neighbors that was probably 10 years younger than me, And they had a problem with us because when we walked on our floor, because it was under us, they said we was walking too hard. Which I don't know how you supposed to walk. I mean, they want us to float. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they want. So basically, this before I move, to my crib, whatever. Man, the girl would take her broom and bang the ceiling, like boom, 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 and walk in the pattern instead of just talking to us. I mean, just think of the knowledge I could have dropped on them or whatever. It's like, it's like that conflict was there for no reason. You know what I mean? And it's like I see, I see the young boy come out the crib. Like you said, KJ pants hanging off his ass. I don't judge that because I used to do it. You know what I mean? And smoking his weed. So I step outside, I smell weed. You know what I mean? I used to do that, so I don't judge. But I can teach you how to be better than that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not willing to come to me, or if you're gonna put up, if like you're gonna create conflict just because I'm another black man, like an older black man, they might look at me like, oh, that old motherfucker ain't shit. Yeah. But I'm looking at you like, damn, man, I see somebody I can mold.
Well,
but
let me piggyback off what Jay Weeks just said right there, because you're absolutely right. And Mr. Knox, he knows, because I called him for advice many a times, you know what I'm saying, with stress. But just going to the kids, giving them knowledge, because I made a mistake when I first got into teaching. I made one crucial mistake that haunts me to this day. And I don't know if I said that on this show before, but I urge people to give the youth a chance, because if I'm gonna tell about how they out there shooting, I'm gonna tell you about how brilliant they are too. Because I made a mistake when I first went into teaching. I said what children can't do. I was frustrated. They didn't know me. I didn't earn their trust. See, it's not like when we first were in school. A teacher would walk in the room, all right, everybody shut the hell up, get your pencil to the paper, or I'm gonna whoop your ass. It's not like that anymore. You have to earn these students' trust. You have to earn their respect. So when I first went into the classroom, I went in and I'm like, oh man, these students, I remember telling my wife, oh, they can't do this. Wrong. When I went in and I actually put towards the effort, when I showed effort in what they did, coach, come to my game. And I actually put effort outside the classroom, going out into the community and getting to know these kids. That's when they were like, oh, this motherfucker really ain't going nowhere.
I'm glad you said that. So I have a younger cousin. He's 12. He's in the 6th grade. And we were sitting in the living room, just talking. It's me, my aunt, and his dad and all of them. And he said, I feel like birthmarks came from your other life. And he's 12 thinking like this. So immediately his older siblings like, Manny, shut up. You sound stupid.
What the hell?
He was immediately like,
hold on, rewind, pause.
Stupid. And I was like, no, let him finish. Like, let him. I said, Manny, what did you just say? He was like, I feel like birthmarks come from your past life. I said, exactly, because you're born with a birthmark. I said, let him explain himself. So
hold on, ask you.
I'm sorry, I can't let it go. I'm sorry.
Was that person naked or something?
That's what I'm saying.
Walking in, and I didn't want her to say nothing crazy. We lied.
Okay, you had seizures. You said, oh.
Too early.
Yeah. No, that was my roommate. But okay, so basically he was talking about the birthmarks and stuff, and I was just like, let him explain himself, y'all. So I said, no, he got a point, because I believe that too. And he looked at me like, you think that way too? And I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with believing that, because I said a birthmark just isn't a birthmark. I feel like when I was younger, I said the same thing. That's why I wanted him to finish, because I said it at that age, and my older siblings was like, you crazy, what you talking about? You ain't from this planet. Just saying stuff like that, condemning me. And I think that's why it took me until I was 25, 26 to wake up, because I was always condemned. I was always told I sound crazy. And I'm like, no, you can't just sit here and tell me a birthmark is a birthmark, or a dream is just a dream.
I want to piggyback off that.
I definitely don't think a dream is. Well, I'm sorry, Weeks. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead, Black Pearl.
I think culture, for me, and I don't know how everyone was raised. For me, culturally, that people having dreams, there's a meaning behind everything. So it's not till I try to share those things I learned culturally, and then with people who were not born in the same culture, that I started having you're crazy, right? So the thought about the way Black people are supposed to be, it's not till I got to, engaging with other people like, oh, that's a crazy thought that we're supposed to be doing that, or whichever. And the problem is that made me feel like I didn't have a voice for a moment because I didn't want to be known as the crazy person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just feel like if you really step back and to answer that is probably why we don't jump in and do what we're supposed to do, because we don't want to stand out and be that one person that pushes against the grid of everything else that's happening. We don't want someone to say, no, this can't happen, and you're pushing for it to happen. We don't want to be the person that go, yo, pull your pants up, and you don't have to be shooting each other and deal with that also, which is the whole point. There's not that one person that wants to take the stand and be against what everybody else is saying can't happen.
Right. I believe that was Lachey that said, but what's the conversation about for real? The conversation is about uplift in the Black community. We're talking about different things, and we just happen to be on the youth aspect of what
you ain't gotta explain yourself, KJ.
Well, as Mr. Week said, I ain't got to explain
It's
shit.
your birthday, dog. Shit. We talk about what the hell we want to.
All right. Tyrone says, when you speak life and positivity into a kid who never gets it, you can change both of y'all for the better. Yeah, exactly, man. These kids are fearless. Like Ash said, these kids are more fearless. They're willing to touch subjects that we never did. You know what I'm saying? They're willing to go places that we just got to get in tune with them and turn that anger they have into the right direction. And I'm telling you, our youth can be a dangerous Our community tries to silence stuff like that, and it hurts. Facebook user, Dad, they gave us a thing.
That's Lachey. Oh, I think it's still Lachey. Oh, it is still Lachey.
Oh, that's
I got one too.
You got a fan.
It's all love, man. It's all love. It's all
exactly. We love you, Facebook user. But now that we talked about the youth, what about us getting out into our communities? We talked about voting. We've talked about that before, but what about our local vote? I talked to my wife the other day about we have a meeting every so often in Woodland, and I've never been to one. I'll call my own faults out. Man, we need to do this. We need to do that. And my wife pointed, but you ain't never been to a damn meeting. So I really looked at well, damn, you know what I'm saying? When we look at our town meetings, our people aren't represented. So the decisions that are being made aren't for us, but we dominate the state with the city. We dominate my town, but we're not going to our local meetings. We're not representing ourselves, and then we complain when things are happening. So I told my wife, I said, baby, next time we in there. Mm-hmm. So so what do you guys feel about that? What should we do locally to help ourselves?
We need to get more involved with who the candidates are. I feel like we don't go to the meetings because of who runs the meetings. I'm not about to go sit down and watch a bunch of old white people who probably been sitting in this office since 1945 talk to me. Y'all don't even know what's going on. Y'all can't even use an iPhone. And I know that for a fact.
and white people that are in the good guy experience, we love y'all. She's not mean all white people.
I don't mean no harm.
Yeah, not all white people.
It is what it is. It ain't all, but I mean, let's be real. Who is the majority of the mayors, the senators, and the governors? They're Caucasian, so it is what it is. The truth ain't always sweet just because you offended. But I just feel like we need to pay more attention to the candidates. We need to invest more in who's running. So we do have to get more involved in politics. I used to always say, it's okay if you're not in politics. Everybody's not. But now the way I look at life now, you have to be involved in politics because we're in America. I mean, this is your bread and butter.
Exactly.
You need to know what's going on. Like, it's just it boils down to just stop being lazy. I mean, y'all want to sit here and talk about love and hip hop and TikToks all day. But when it's time to talk about presidential candidates who gonna sit here and make a break, if you're gonna get a stimulus check or not, and y'all trying to figure out why you ain't got $1,200 because Congress going back and forth, you don't know what's going on. These are the people you vote for year after year. It's like Black people automatically vote Democrat because they just was told to vote Democrat, and you don't even realize you just put a pedophile in the office that's doing all this creepy stuff, sexualizing kids. He is. This man giving kids rights to be transgender. I'm talking about he overstepping. I mean, this is executive orders he signed. He did this within his first week. So I'm just saying we have to get more involved. We got to get some knowledge. We got to actually sit down, spend time with these candidates. We got to invest in them. That's the other thing Caucasians do in their community. They invest in who they want to run for mayor and stuff like that. So we don't put no time and energy into it. So you get what you pay for.
Yeah, right. People, like you said, Ash. People think just marching and giving, good cheers and shit is gonna fill the election. Money, you gotta put money behind
talk.
it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta get
Don't y'all talk
behind.
about money and having supported my boy Dr. Umar like that. Don't you do it.
Hold
Don't
on,
you
what?
do it, Mr. Wick.
I'm
just joking. I knew he was about to roast me. I'm joking.
Oh, it's not. No. Really, what I was about to say is, we got to have, like you said, we got to have black sheriffs, black judges, black district attorneys. All these people be running for office and we have no idea. Sometimes when you go to the ballot to vote, they'll run unopposed also. You know what I mean? Like, you'll see somebody on the ballot and it's like nobody's running against them.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So it's like it really starting the local. We gotta get more involved on the local level, like you said, and we got to know the candidate. We gotta know everything, board of education, everything. Like, we gotta get involved in all of that, because it's like, be honest with you, most of my white friends I know, they know about everything, politics, stocks, everything. You know what I mean? And then you talk to your black friends sometimes. Only thing they want to talk about is what LeBron did and when he coming back to play. It's like,
wait. So y'all remember? Y'all remember how Cat Williams had this like a joke thing when he says like you could call and a white person pick up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they'd be like, I have friends like that. I'm just like, I don't know. Hold on, let's look it up together. Let's do it together. Right? And they always help me. And I mean, with the things that are really useful, you know what I mean? They can joke, but it's like really a plethora of knowledge. And I have a group of white friends that I'm like, look, I need to buy a house. I know you don't have to have great credit. What do you have to do? Hold on, Erica. I got you. Give me a second. Boom. And I'm in a house. It's interesting. You said that triggered that in my mind.
So I want to go back to this right here, because we've been talking about, a few unpopular ideas. Black people voting Democrat is ignorant. Now, I'm not trying to sway anybody's vote, but Ash, I understand what you're saying. But for those that don't understand, why is the Democratic vote so detrimental to our people, as you and Facebook user are saying? Because we got to be honest, since the 80s, Black people have been. We've been Democrat. They can say whatever. Hey, Black
it's crazy.
People.
We used to vote more Republican, or Martin Luther King was Republican.
Because my grandmother was a Republican until Obama ran.
The 80s it shifted. So why is the Democratic vote bad for Black people?
Because they keep us down. People got to understand they keep us on government assistance. So that goes back to Black Wall Street, and I can touch on that too. But it really just comes down to them having control over us. So if you're supplying them with government assistance and checks and food stamps, then you're controlling them. So
absolutely.
So that's really what it comes down. That's why they get our vote.
But they just put our face in front of it, so we believe that we're supporting ourselves, but we're not. That's all it is.
And they drop us quicker than you can blink your eye. That's the wildest part. Like Joe Biden and them, they got us real good. Because I still ain't seen Ice Cube get a meeting with him yet. I thought he said he was supposed to meet with him. See how
try again.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
They will get the meeting when he runs again. That's when he's going.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, Black people got to want real tangible things. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be. It just can't be. We pick the person that make us feel the best. We should vote more independent. Like, I'll vote for a Republican if he benefits me, especially my pockets. You know what I mean? So it's like we keep wanting these moral victories. We gotta want generational wealth to pass down to our kids. And if that do go with your vote do got something to do with that, because it's people getting fucking grants out the ass. You know what I mean? Just for being from a certain place. That should be us.
That boy been talking tonight, man. It make me proud to have met you at North Carolina State University.
Go ahead, Ash. I know this is all you right here.
Okay, so immigration is the worst thing that's happened to Black people. I 1,000% agree. So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw some knowledge on y'all, because I feel like a lot of people have a false narrative of Black Wall Street and why it failed. So I'm gonna just start off by here. So Tulsa Black Wall Street was not ruined because it was burnt down in 1921. A lot of people don't even know that 1 year later, they had already reopened. I'm sorry, somebody calling me. Had already reopened 80 businesses. They had reopened 80 businesses a year later. So they even thrived through the Great Depression. People don't know that either. They thrived through the Great Depression. That's big. I don't even think people understand how huge that is, that Black Wall Street still thrived through the Great Depression. Like, did you just hear what I said? So what was the real cause of the fail of Black Wall Street? Integration. Basically, in the 1950s, more than half the business had closed because desegregation and the allowance of Black businesses. Then, by 1961, 90% of African-American income in Tulsa was spent outside of the district. And integration was what ruined Black Wall Street, not it getting burnt down. We actually recovered from being burnt down.
Yeah, so, I did not know that. I did not know that.
I want to add
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know that. I thought it was the song. They dropped the bomb on me. I thought that was. I thought that's what it was.
80% of them recovered. And
wow. I want to add to that too, Ash. Like a lot of people don't know that Black Wall Street, they had deals overseas too. We was trading with China. Europe, like we didn't have to depend on like the United States government for nothing.
Man, what the hell? I just heard somebody say, "Wow!"
Look, that's a bonus for you guys. You know, every now and then you get some action on. You never know what you're gonna get when you tune in. Actually got a kid. Ashley got a kid one over there.
Ashley's like, I'm about to shut this down.
Yeah, Ashley Myers over there. What's going on over there? God knows.
Yeah, no, they in there doing their YouTube video. Mind you, they know what I gotta do every Wednesday. Don't tell me I'm too loud. And then and I said, I need an hour. Then y'all can do y'all little YouTube thing that y'all don't ever do on Wednesdays.
Hey, you got like a mama about with some children ass.
You got up real fast. I was like, oh, let me mute it. She about to wild out. Hold on.
That shit gave me PTSD, man. Remember my mom used to get up there.
Mama, I ain't do it. It was her. So I ain't do it.
No, I ain't say nothing. I was just like, shh.
Oh, okay. But the way you got up, I thought you were going to come back with your belt in your hand. I got up like that power little man.
I said the belt, not the belt.
I came back.
I'm tired of all y'all. I'm sorry. Go back to it because I was really learning some stuff. Like I really did not know these. I really did not know these facts. Oh,
wow. I want to add one more quick thing. Like if you look at Lovecraft Country and the Watchmen shows on HBO, they did like visual depictions of what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was the first time ever on TV, on mainstream TV, they showed what happened because a lot of white people don't even know that happened. And the same thing happened in Wilmington, North Carolina. A lot of people don't know this.
Yep.
And what and for the people that don't know what happened?
Well, Wilmington, North Carolina had Black Wall Street too, and same shit happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like we thrive. It was integration. Integration ruined everything, and that's why I always, at any time people start talking about stuff, I always go back to integration because I'm like, that's the problem. If we would have stayed separated, we did not need white people. I don't know where that theory or where that thought came from, but we did not need them. We were fine.
But you know, one thing I do want to ask you, Ash. I know we about to run out of time. How you think America would look today if we didn't integrate? Like, 2021, no integration happened. Like, I mean,
honestly, when I look back on it, Black Wall Street and everything was great. I feel like we lacked. Well, I ain't even gonna say we lacked. I feel like we didn't get an opportunity to kind of build some allies and build a military to protect ourselves. So I don't know how we would look today. I think about that a lot because I'm like, we would have stayed integrated. How would things be today? How would, would my family be richer? Because my family, my great-grandfather, he wasn't a slave. He owned his own farm. He actually had a white friend that gave him the land. It was just in his name so that he wouldn't get caught for it because my family never really worked for the white man. So I know my family would be thriving right now. My granddaddy owned a school bus in Oxford, North Carolina. He owned a grocery store. And this was back in the 1930s, 1920s when black people didn't have nothing. So I don't know.
I
I
love
honestly feel like
Ashley, man.
I'll probably be rich, but
Ashley said the white man.
that's how my aunt always talks about it.
Y'all go get us banned from everything except BET.
Everything but BET.
Join us live on BET Uncut. Damn.
No, I got it. I say it that way because my great aunt is the one who actually informed me of that about my family, because I didn't know that, because I just used to ask her, like, why we so poor? Like, I just used to ask, because I'm like, we got 21 acres of land, but we're not doing nothing with it. She was like, you know why we got 21 acres of land? Then that's when she told me about the white man that gave my grandfather all this land. We was growing tobacco. We had our own stuff. We had a grocery store, a school bus, but white people burnt it down, and we weren't able to recover from it. But I mean, I always think about that. Honestly, I don't know how it would look. I feel like we would be thriving. I do know that for a fact if we could have, stayed to ourselves. But I don't know. It would be that's something to really dream about, because that's all we can do right now.
Well, so do you feel we can't pull out from that and rebuild?
Pull out.
I couldn't think of another word. I'm sorry.
Oh, son.
I do. To be honest, I think we can't, because although I feel like these kids got some loose screws because they don't really care. I feel like they're a little bit more ruthless. A lot of them are smart. I actually look at like guys that so I repost a lot of woke stuff, right? But I actually be peeping some of these rappers around Durham that are into violence, but they be posting woke stuff. Like, they know about certain stuff that's going on. I feel like the knowledge is there, but the opportunity,
maybe the outlet,
we don't have that outlet where we could kind of do some things. So I feel like it's there. I feel like a lot of these kids are smart. I just told you my little 6th grade, he 12 years old talking about birthmarks.
Like, what if the issue is all they hear is about how crazy their idea is?
Right.
What if that's what it is? That's crazy. That's crazy. So now all of that's pent up, because now everything that I have that keeps me woke is known as crazy. Right. You know what I mean? So it's
And I feel like that boils down to at home. Like, even if auntie and uncle raising you, if you raising some kids, I don't care. I put a post up the other day on Facebook. I don't care if a child want to cut down trees for a living. You go all in and you help that child figure out how they can make a career and build off of cutting trees down for a living. You don't see
absolutely.
Like, that's a crazy idea. What if cutting trees down make them $1 million? Then how you gonna feel?
Well, that's never gonna work, because no one's ever been able to do that.
Yeah, do that. But
that's a trade. We need to get back into the trade system.
And we got to get education stuff, especially this current education system that don't teach you nothing. I can't remember the last time I used Y = MX + B. Probably the last time I took that class. I don't even remember what class that was in.
Thank you so much. Hey, thank you. My crown is shining if it can get straight. Thank you.
That's my mama.
I appreciate you, Mama Weeks. Thank you so much. That's my part.
That's your part-time. Hey, that's what's up. Make that money.
But guys, I do want to say this. I want to thank everybody that came and checked out the show tonight, because if you can come in and don't get me wrong, I love every show we do. But if you can get the shows about why people cheat and why people do this, you can come in and get some of this knowledge too. Every show is not going to be on that blase. Sometimes we're going to kick knowledge to you. So get your people to come in and learn some of this hot knowledge they be dropping to you. Especially Jay Weeks and Ash has put it down for the knowledge tonight. So come in and get a cup of this shit and drink it up. All right, come in and get some of this shit. All right.
Cutting trees is good money. I know that's right. I need to learn how to do it.
Does anybody have any final thoughts for tonight?
Yeah, we all do. But who's going first?
Go ahead, Weeks.
Stop beating people.
That's what she does. Okay. Go ahead. Ash is going first.
Every Black woman need this book. It's called The Sacred Woman by Queen. Can y'all see it? Queen Afua. Basically, it's just about a guide to healing the feminine body, mind, and spirit. Because I just, was telling y'all, I'm doing this too. I just started. Cause I just cut meat out. I'm down to chicken. I just gotta let the chicken go. But
it's about to be no more chicken, so it's gonna be easy.
Yeah, it is. So, but I just feel like every female needs this book. It's a lot of knowledge in this book. Take care of your body, and then spiritually and everything. I mean, this is a great book. I've been reading it. It's helped me a lot. So I feel like every female need to have this in their house. I ain't saying read it in a month, but at least have it so you have something to, go to for some knowledge. That's all.
Whoever that was that called out my government name, who sent you? Appreciate you. I appreciate you. My name is Buddy Rowe. My name is Buddy Rowe tonight. And Mr. Weeks is on you.
Cool. Yo, shout out Tyrone. Yo, buy some crypto. We all been buying up. You know, that's gonna be the wave of the future. I just want to say, man, I really enjoy y'all tonight, man. You know, Black Pearl, Ash, KJ, my brother. You know, happy birthday.
Appreciate it,
man. You know, enjoy yourself, bro. You're a good man, yo. You might not realize it, but your job is very important. You know what you do. You know, you touch a lot of black males, and trust me, man, them kids gonna come back to you probably 10, 15 years from now and be like, man, you might not even remember me, but I'm a lawyer now. And I remember what being around you showed me the way. So that's going to be my parting shot tonight, is to uplift you, my brother, because it's your birthday. And, I just want to say, I enjoyed y'all tonight. And, hopefully we keep making some magic,
Appreciate it. Black Pearl. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Black Pearl.
And another thing to say after what Jay Week said, I 1,000% agree. Happy birthday, Buddy Rowe. And I enjoy every episode we have together, the crazy ones and the ones that educate. So I hope we see all of our Good Guy Experience crew back here next week. We might be a little ratchet next week.
What does how it go? Knowledge and ratchet. Knowledge to ratchet.
Knowledge, ratchet, knowledge. We balance. That's balance.
We balance. I just want to say I appreciate all the panel members, man. I appreciate y'all taking the time. We're all busy. We're all doing things, guys. We all have jobs that demand a lot of our time, but everybody you see on this panel is taking the time to be here with you tonight. Even the people that are in the comments that come and take the time to be with us, we definitely appreciate you, because without you, there would be no us. So thank you, everybody, for the birthday shout outs. Thank you, my brother Jay Weeks. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Black Pearl. We are the Good Guy Experience, where the experience is always good, guys. See, I had too much to drink. I always stumbling on my words. It's my birthday, don't
turn up, bitches.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. So we'll be back at you next week. Black Pearl, we got to catch up on our members of the week, because we backed up with that. We got to do a commercial or something. We got to throw them a thumbs up.
Hey, Mama Weeks is the member of the week, son.
Mama Weeks is the member of the week. Mama Weeks is gonna be the new member of the week. You heard it here. Jay Weeks said it. Mama Weeks is the new member of the week. We got to shout out the past two members of the week. Wes Sprague is the from 2 weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago. I know he's sitting there like, shit, I ain't gonna never get my shit.
Wes.
Sharon DeBerry is the second week. She is member of the week. We're gonna definitely get you guys going. And Mama Weeks for the upcoming week is our member.
Mama Weeks.
Thank you, guys. Until next week, guys. Welcome to the Good Guy Experience, where the experience is always good, guys. See you next time.
Peace.